I'm going to call this meeting to order. It's 5 o'clock. We are now live. I'm going to remind everybody once again, I'm being a little bit more enforcing of this meeting. If you're going to speak, if you're from the audience and you're asked to speak, you've got to go to the podium. People were talking the last meeting. If you go back and review it, you can't hear what they're saying. The idea of the live stream is to make sure that the public can tune in and hear what's going on. So I know nobody likes to go to a podium and talk, including me, but it's going to be enforced. So be ready for that. The first thing we'll have is a prayer from Don.
Our gracious Father, we gather tonight to do the business of the town, and we ask that you look over Paul and help him get better, and we ask that you look over all the responders and service people, and we ask that all the sick be binded and healed. And we know that there's some troubling times in this world, and we ask that you help our president resolve these things, and so there be peace and not death. In your son's name, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, Don. Pat's going to lead us in pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pat.
Yep. This chair.
You've all had the minutes sent to you, the board members, and Megan's digital on that. Does anybody want to make any corrections or additions to last month's minutes?
I make a motion they stand as presented and sent.
I have a motion to make them stand.
Second.
A second by Pat. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And now I have a treasurer's report from our clerk.
You have the written report. I don't have anything to add unless you have questions.
The only question I'm gonna ask, not specifically for you, but for the board, last month you brought up there's an increase on, I believe it's just the medical insurance for employees,
Yes.
and which is a pretty genuine thing that happens every year. We kind of try and plan for it. The actual increase was 10.87%. Megan has advised me that if she hasn't, any of the rest of you, that we do have the funds to cover that till the end of the year. And we'll be doing a budget for 26 next week on the 15th. Is there any motions or discussions about that increase?
When does it due?
August.
It starts August 1st.
August 1st.
So we need to take over that, make a motion and use that.
You can do whatever you want to do.
I make a motion that we retain the same carrier of that it carries on.
Second.
I got a motion from Don and a second from Pat to carry on the rest of this year with the premiums for our health insurance for our employees. I don't have anything else. Does any other board members have anything for Megan? Hearing nothing, we'll move to the streets and wastewater report. I was advised, after I got here, Craig was working his tail off, and he went home and standing on his written report, you all have a copy of that. There's no need to go through it now. If you come up with any questions for Craig, as you know in the past, just give him a call. He'll be happy to answer any questions you got.
I'd like to
Go
make a
ahead.
comment on the Craig,
Yes.
on Paul's absence, and he's worked extremely hard and kept things going, and he's done an exceptional job. I want to commend him for that.
Yes.
I'll third that.
I've got two things on streets and wastewater, Roger.
Does the board have anything else to talk about? Hearing nothing, Pat, go ahead.
Craig is gonna be off for a few days, and Corey Kelly from Western
is gonna come over and do the testing for Craig while he's off. Craig said that average, what they pay guys to come in and, you know, do that is like $40 a day. So he's gonna be gone for 2 days, so I make a motion that we pay Corey the $40 a day while he's here helping Craig.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded by Jake to go ahead and pay Corey $40 a day
Yep.
to handle the test on the 2 days. And Craig had told us a month ago that he still wanted to have those days off even before we found out about Paul. So we told him, yeah, we'll take care of it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
And the second thing I have a very long list of trees in the town that are needing trimmed, more than what our town guys can take care of. So what I'm asking for is board permission to get with Rice's and to get a quote together, because they're rubbing UPS trucks, they're rubbing trash trucks, they're rubbing school buses, they're almost rubbing golf carts in some places. So it's just that time again that about every 5 years we gotta roll through town and get things kinda pushed back up where they belong. So I'm just asking for you guys' permission to get with Mike, and he said he could get with me on Thursday evening if anybody else would like to ride around with us, or if not, I can take care of it. But that's
I'll make a motion.
What's your motion?
To let Pat take care of, to get with Rice's Tree Service to get us a quote for the trimming of the trees.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Seconded by Don. Any discussion?
When we get the quote
Mm-hmm.
on this here, this week, we can make a call on that.
Well, that's
The
what
15th.
that's what I'm asking you guys, because, I mean, it kinda needs to happen. It works on their schedule, but school's coming up pretty quick, so.
Because we don't know if it's gonna exceed what we
Yeah,
got, so
and
that's.
we
the
got
only-
another meeting next week, right?
Yeah,
So,
so
or
that's-
can we do it on the text message? That's my
We
question.
can do it next week.
Okay,
Not on Tuesday, I mean, it's,
Yep.
Keep us on the list.
yeah, I will.
that's all I want.
But I do have a very lengthy list, if anybody'd like to look at my list.
Our
I
budget.
spent about 2 hours today driving every road in town, so this is my list. But it's time for Tree City, Rushville to push things back up where they belong.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passed.
That's all I
Okay,
have,
so
Robert.
this is to drive around to get the quote to bring it back to the next meeting.
15th.
Okay.
We can bring it up on the 15th.
Yes, yes, it's an open meeting.
Yes. And
Thank
Pat
you.
said he could make that work, he thought.
Yep.
He won't get to it till next week anyways. I doubt if he gets to it to next week after that.
I don't know.
Okay.
Roger,
Craig?
we're still on the streets and.
Yes.
All right, down here, there's a little dip in the street. Somebody has complained about it. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, it's down there just past North Street.
On 750? Yeah. Or on
Just
Union?
right down here.
Was it a cut?
It's one that
I don't know, it
reoccurs.
just keeps getting worse and worse.
It's just sinking.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, same issue we've had in the past. We've had it dug out and then redone again. So
Is it
when
Union?
Crenshaw gets done, whatever, there's some paving, he's gonna try to get through here, and that's one of the things on the list, to see if he can give us a quote to get that thing fixed.
I believe we have money. We haven't done any paving this year.
Yes, we do.
But there's some things that
Age
Craig,
restricted, yeah.
No, I said we haven't paved anything this year.
No.
I know we got money.
No, we've paid
We got
nothing.
money.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
there's some things that we wanted to get patched, that, you know, and so that was one on the list, so when
Uh,
Crenshaw gets through that, we'll try
Will
to
you
get
and
it.
Pat
Yeah, we'll take care of it,
get on top of that?
yeah,
That's a motion?
yeah. That's why I make the motion, now Pat and I take care of this.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
But that
Those
was on the
opposed?
list.
I didn't hear Jake vote.
No, I said aye.
Yeah.
Unanimous, aye. Thank you, Jake. Marshal's Department.
No report. Just take the report in front of
Everybody's got a copy of the police department's written report. Does anybody have questions for the marshal at this time? Hearing none, I'll ask Josh about EMA. Does anybody have questions for Josh about EMA? Moving on, public safety advisors. Jake or Greg, either one of you have anything to bring up on public safety?
Yes, I have 3 things to bring up.
You have the floor.
The first one is the calls for service since January 1st of this year for the Richardville Fire Department. There's 117 calls for service, 24 fire calls, 10 car accidents, 75 EMS calls, and 8 miscellaneous calls. It could be flooding. Those are the various calls like that. So just shout out to the Richardville Fire Department. I mean, obviously that's a volunteer agency. They work extremely hard for that. Second is, with that is our past relationships, I think, with the Richardville Fire Department hasn't been the best with the board, but I think in the last couple of years we have turned the tide. Landon and I have a great relationship, and we're continuing to do so. If he needs anything, he calls me, vice versa. So I just want to publicly acknowledge that our relationship is doing really, really well with them, and continue to do so, continue to get better, and that's what we want as a community. So I appreciate them every single day. So fire calls, last thing is bike radio. Shout out to Josh and Carl, Lori for putting that on. I know the weather didn't cooperate with us the first week, however, the second week was awesome. Great turnout. I don't know how many bikes you guys gave away. 37. And bikes are not cheap. I've learned that this year. It seems like they doubled in price, tripled in price. I tried to get a bicycle for my son. It was like $500. It's crazy. But yeah, so thank you guys. That was awesome. I hope we continue to grow that and maybe even look for a bigger place. Maybe we can get that, but no, thank you guys. That's all I have.
I have real quick on the road. Josh, next year, before the, in May or so, remind me of that so I can get that donation to you, because I forgot last year.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah, for sure.
Okay?
Anybody else have anything for health department? I don't think Rick's not here.
Rick's in England.
Rick's
Yeah,
in
they're-
England.
They're traveling the globe.
Bring us some tea.
Good for
He
them.
might be watching. Hi, Rick, if he's watching.
Hi, Rick. Attorney.
Yes, sir. Working on some nuisance stuff with Josh. I recorded the annexation. Talked to the city of Kokomo about web policy and live streaming. I read the ordinance, and the city administration does the policy approved by the Board of Works, which is then approved by the council, but I can't find any of that actual paperwork on by talking, scoured the ordinances, so I did ask the city clerk and the mayor's assistant to help me locate those 2 items, but I found that interesting that you had to do all that, but I can't find the actual paperwork. And I'm continuing my quest. Barrycom service agreement. What are the charges for this?
None.
All right.
0.
0? Okay, good. And then the term?
Forever.
Forever?
Until we.
All right, we'll put.
We were told to start, Corbin, that they would give Mercerville free
I
internet
love it.
for all of our buildings.
Yeah,
We just thought since it was a contract, you probably should see it.
and I just wondered what the term was, and I see no. Because they have these just general statements at the end, so I was just, so the term, and we can do it, we can cancel within 30 days notice, so I don't know if we need to put in, you know, until terminated by either party or something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So that's my,
Is that voidable if there's no expiration date on the term limit? I just don't want something to happen.
that's why I'm having her put until terminated by
Can they terminate
pursuant.
early?
Oh, it says right here, terminated by either party within 30 days. Written notice is already in this. I'm with you, just have that
Yeah.
pursuant to general term 1 or whatever that might be. I'm with you. I wanted something in the term. So there you go.
Anything else, Gordon?
No, sir.
What about, floodplain?
We're still working on that, I guess. Did you get the email the other day? Yeah. But that's kind of in the plain Howard County's ball court. I'm just sitting by.
Thank you, Corbin.
All right.
Plan Commission. I don't think Mike's here. We have a written report from Mike. We'll submit it with the meeting information. If anybody has questions for Mike, you can get a hold of him on those permits. Board of Zoning Appeals, I don't see anybody here for that. TIF, is there anybody here reporting on TIF? Nope, nobody. Historical Society, Jan Kozar, I don't see anybody.
I have an update later. When you get
Pardon me?
down- I'll have an update down in the old business.
Park and Tree Board, Jill.
Okay. A little update on the playground project. Dave Keyser submitted, well, he didn't submit, the DNR submitted our original grant proposal to the National Park Service. The holdup that they were struggling with was the light poles. And when we met, we had a Zoom meeting with, I don't remember his name, from Duke. And he said we would probably hear back in 2 weeks, and that's been 5 weeks?
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything.
Exactly what I told
Oh,
you.
you did tell us that. So anyway, we're waiting on that, and we have to keep the DNR appraised of what's going on there. But, so now we're in a holding pattern again, but this time with the National Park Service. Also,
On the lighting, real quick, briefly, we met with the Pat, and I don't remember who all was there on this meeting, we met with them on the lighting. Instead of trying to do with a pole, which is an exorbitant amount of money, we're trying to get to where it would be like a different type of lighting, that would be, the LED, and then we would absorb that cost through nutrition through our lighting system itself over a period of time. So,
Not on a pole?
not the original wooden pole that they wanted to put up
Oh.
there. It was like $3,300
Yeah.
for that. These are actually more direct, kind of directly, you know.
Decorative type, but
They're
they're
the crowns
they're
on them, something like
directed
that.
lights.
He's supposed to give us a quote on that and see what it would cost over a payout time.
I did reach out to him and just try to push him along,
But
but I've got nothing so far.
To help you out on this, I dealt with this a lot, and when they go to design, to get the design and what you pick out, and when it goes to costing, it may be up to 6 months. Just for you.
well, I know he said the engineer had to come out and look at it and make some determinations. Anyway,
That's all right.
okay. Also at our park board meeting last Tuesday, we discussed doing something for the kids in town. And we wanted to, at the town park, hold a, like a fun game evening from 5 to 7 on July 23rd. It's a Wednesday. And this is gonna be for kids of all ages. And it would be just playing various games and having some food, having hot dogs, chips, drink, and some ice cream or popsicles. We are going to try to get this out to the kids in the community. We are going to make some flyers and hand those out, and then plus have it posted different places. So we would want your blessing on that. And again, that would be Wednesday, July 23rd from 5 to 7.
I'll make a motion to pass
Jake made a motion for the,
Well, in
July
time.
23rd, 5.
what's the title of your program?
What's it called, Jana?
Kids having fun.
Yeah.
Fun Day,
Fun
It,
day.
it's something like,
Kids Fun Day.
Youth Fun Day or Youth Fun Fest, I don't know what it's
You
called.
do,
First
You can
annual
just say it
Youth
to me.
Fun Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richardville's Park and Tree Board is hosting their first annual Youth Fun Fest.
Youth Fun Day.
It's a cute little flyer she did
Perfect.
that.
I'll make a
Jake,
motion.
Jake made the motion, is there a second?
I made the second.
Don seconded, any discussion?
What was the date?
July
23rd,
23rd,
5 to 7.
yes.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? It passed. Go ahead, Joe.
All right, you're all invited.
Beautiful.
Spread the word.
Anyway, that's all I have. If you have any questions.
Anybody have a question for Joe? Thank you. Oh, wait a minute.
Actually, I do.
Okay.
It's kind of almost a new business, but not. As far as once the park is built, hopefully soon, maybe not. How much room do we have on the other end of that inside the track area? Is it an acre? Is it 2 acres? Do you know?
I don't
The
know.
footprint of what we have kind of left.
Yes.
A lot.
There's quite a bit of room inside that loop there. I mean, we have the disc golf course, but really I don't think we have any baskets inside, well,
Yeah, clear up on the
Yeah.
other end.
on the other end, but there's quite a,
What are you thinking, go-kart track?
Little Mario track would be kind of fun. No, so there's a couple of things I was going to bring up. I can bring up now. One, I've been approached last year and again this year for a pickleball court. That's a big hot item. I think that actually would be pretty fun. It gets more people out, more people going. Obviously, I don't want to steal a footprint. I'm looking at different kind of options for us as far as grants for the pickleball. Just as you guys experience as grants right now are a little different. I just want to make sure that we're not cutting into any kind of land of some sort for that.
we've actually talked about that also. And there are grants and out there. They are, a lot of times, the one grant I was looking at, they want it ready to go.
Yes.
You know, these grants don't want to, they're not like the DNR grant and the National Park Service where it takes years. So they want things ready to go.
Yes. And kind of going with the lighting options as well. I was approached by not only talking about the pickleball lighting system, but also was approached by the baseball field. It seems like they're going to lose their insurance if they do not replace light poles. They got a quote. It was $240,000 to replace their lighting system so they don't drop their insurance. It's unfortunate. I think they've raised about $50,000, so we're looking at different kind of options as well for that. So the lighting issue, I understand, and also with the pickleball, some of the grants I've seen, you have to have those installed, which is weird. So, yes, I like to work with you a little bit. Maybe
Sure.
you can kind of look around that as well. The third thing I have, the Kokomo Soccer Club is losing the soccer fields on the corner of Duffinball and Berkeley. It is not known where they're going to be at, but they're actually losing that entire facility because Haynes International has leased that to them, and they're getting ready to build a new expansion of some sort. I think they got a grant for, or approval of like $177 million. Has there been any talks or anybody has brought to the table a soccer system fields bringing to the park board at all?
No,
No.
no one has, and I honestly don't know where we'd put a soccer field.
That's kind of what I was
Yeah, how
thinking
many
too.
soccer
Yeah.
fields do they have there?
There's a
Four.
bunch.
Four,
Four that I
five?
know
No,
of.
no,
Then there's
there's-
8 total, I think.
I think there's 10.
Okay.
10 total.
I know there's one too.
There's a lot, and
Small.
obviously, it's unfortunate. I think they have some other plans, options. I didn't know if anybody has brought that to your guys' attention or anything like that.
I read about it in the paper, but no one has brought it to our attention, and again, I know we don't,
It'd be a
the
lot.
park board, we don't have any property for something like that, for sure.
I'm gonna make a couple comments on
Go ahead.
this, okay? One, about the pickleball court, it's a great idea, but you gotta recall that once we signed that there for that grant, you can't build anything in there without the DNR's approval, correct?
No, you can, as long as it has to do.
As long as it's outdoor
Yeah,
recreation.
As long as it's recreation, we
But-
can't build a fire station or
That's what I'm saying is,
anything like that. It's outdoor recreation that can be built in there.
we need to get clarification for, what the heck's that called, for that grant, the grant we want, you get grants on pickleball and stuff like that. So I don't know if that would be from the DNR, or how you would go about that, but that's later down the road. The other thing is that, with the park itself, we won't know till next year probably how much we're gonna get through it, right? We
Probably,
won't know that,
probably not till spring.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, what's your plans on building first? The three, the bathroom, the shelter, or the park? What's the first thing you're gonna go after with the grant?
Well, I mean,
None of them until we get the grant.
I said when you get
yeah,
the grant.
once the grant comes, I don't know exactly what order we'll do it because, different people will be building different parts of it.
Cause the reason I asked that is someone asked me, when are you gonna get the bathroom down there? I said, well, okay, I'll ask them what's the
Yeah, unfortunately, we cannot put the first shovel in the ground without them awarding us that. The whole deal is off if we do.
Anybody,
all I had.
anybody have anything else? Greg?
I thought at one time that the tennis court or whatever behind where Jeff Stout lived. What is that there? A tennis court?
Belongs to church.
Yeah, that belongs to the Friends Church.
Well, it was talked about turning that into a pickleball court at one time. So
But they still use it for parking on Sundays.
yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I think it would have to be all resurfaced. It's
Yeah.
not in very good shape, yeah. And that's owned by the church, so that's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
they'd have to bring up to them. Mhm. We did talk about it.
What about the basketball court at the Lions Club? Is that big enough?
It's big enough for a pickleball court, but then they wouldn't have a basketball court, I mean.
I don't see that basketball court being burned up by future basketball players.
Not like when we were kids, but they played down there a lot.
I don't know, but that
That's
doesn't
just-
belong to the park board either, that belongs to the Lions
I
Club.
know, I'm just throwing these two things
Yeah.
out there.
It's already marked off for a pickleball on the basketball court. There is actual pickleball size measurements there to use.
I had one last thing. Jill, when we rented the community center, we was gonna play horseshoes. There's no horseshoes in there. What happened to it?
They're not in
There's
there?
nothing in that box, not a thing in that box.
I don't know,
A
Donnie.
couple weeks
There
ago.
was a couple weeks ago.
Someone
I
stole
know when
There was 4 horseshoes.
there was not one horseshoe in there when was that?
Look out in the field.
Well, that's graduation.
Oh, I didn't know they were missing.
Yeah, cause we were going to play horseshoes and there was nothing in the box.
Jill's gonna get on top of that.
Okay,
I'm not gonna walk the field or anything, but,
come on, Jill.
You can look around.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
Good horseshoe player brings their own horseshoes
I
anyway.
vote for it.
They have their own. They file them and everything.
They do?
Yeah,
You
I know.
Want me to show you my horseshoes?
I know, because
We was just up there doing that, and I was just curious, they wanted to play, and I
my
said, well,
father-in-law
okay.
used to play horseshoes professionally.
So did.
He was awesome.
So did, Sarahman's dad.
Yeah.
Played all, you ever played with?
Anybody else have anything for Jill?
But that's all I had, Joe. I was just curious.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Pat, Park and Tree Board Advisory Member.
All good on my end, I'm just helping them with whatever I can.
Old business, Dave
I got one on this real quick, on the park.
on the park.
Park board and tree board. Have we ever come up with the sound system? That was supposed to be addressed a long time ago.
A what now?
Sound system down there, microphone system.
For the community center?
Yep, that's been brought up in the past.
There was one there and it got tore up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and they were supposed to look at the cost to replace it, so,
Well, that would have been a long time ago.
yeah, and just,
I have not done that.
We don't have any information on that.
okay, thank you.
Dave Keyser, I think Dave's here.
I talked to Dave, I called him, I wanna know about Interurban. Supposed to finalize the plans this month here and get us to us, and they was hoping to have it, bidded out in August.
For the interurban?
Yep, the second phase of Interurban,
How much money was awarded to us for the second phase?
that's it.
You
I
can
think
take
it's
the sidewalks off there.
$110,000, I think.
What was the,
In August, you said?
That was for
Yeah, he's
Lindsay
trying to get them, the plans to us, and bid it out maybe August, September is what there, so he's trying to get that completed, so we get that. Who was that did the, I can't remember the name of the company,
Monroe.
Monroe, we don't have to, rebid that, we use the same company.
Donnie, what's the scope of work for the
But
110?
it's the heating, air conditioning, and wiring, and what was the other?
Insulation.
Insulation. There's a different type of insulation you're looking at. More of a, it's like a foam type that, and things like, that's gonna eat the majority of that money up. The wiring.
Ready to move on?
Just trying to
Yeah,
think
more.
of it. I think that's about covered it, didn't it, Pat?
Yep. I did remove this crooked sign that was in the front of the building to make it look a little better, so.
And I asked him.
It's out back of the other building, so if somebody wants to replant it, they're more than welcome to, but.
I asked him also about the expansion of the plant, and there's no federal monies available. So I think maybe we're gonna have to do a different route, maybe get with, see what way we can go. See what'd be more cost effective for the town.
When's that meeting?
That's all I have.
I'm researching that, Donnie. I have a meeting with, another company, and I can't remember the name of it.
MS?
RNS?
MS?
MS, that's it.
Uh,
We went to the Logansport, we had to go to our yearly meeting at Logansport, and he's another consultant, and the guy strictly works on basically municipal wastewater, water systems and stuff like that, so I've got a meeting with him just to kinda see what's going on, and maybe we can
We've got a
find
contract.
another avenue, so.
We got a contract with Gary Ladd to do the plant, no matter what, so we're under contract with him. He's the engineer.
Anything else?
No, sir.
That's good though.
Corbin, did you have anything else on the website policy?
Other than trying to find it with,
That's it, you're still
that was
trying
my, yep.
Hometown hero banners, and that's Pat.
I'm asking the board for permission to use this is for AMVETS, to use your 32 light poles and put up 32 hometown hero banners.
I'll make a motion.
That's me. Go ahead, I'll second his motion so we can go into discussion.
A motion by Jake to do 32 hometown hero banners. Second by Don. Discussion?
I have a flyer right here that I'm getting ready. The 32 are not gonna take long to fill up, I can tell you that. So it's on a first come, first served basis. So as soon as I start the program, I'm the contact person and we'll go from there, so.
2 years.
Okay.
2 years, every 2 years, the banners will get switched out every 2 years. And my idea is to switch them out on the second year, right before Veterans Day, so that then Veterans Day on for the next 2 years, there will be another set. There'll be a waiting list for, it'll just be a continuing, if people want to keep up and buy a new banner, then every 2 years, the process just keeps rolling through, so.
So it went from 3 years to 2 years, but the same amount of money.
Same amount of money, but.
Okay, and then the other one is that the list, we're still gonna utilize the people in town first, right?
That will be up to my discretion. I'll be
Wait a
taking
minute.
care of it. First come, first served is how I got it
Yeah.
on the.
I know, but when we talked about this last time,
This is a new proposal.
no, it was like, that was when we
We
first
can have
brought up.
discussion. This is a new proposal.
I know, the other one is that we would allow the people in town first, then go out there.
Yep. 99.9% of the people that I have on this 45 number list right now are people that are in town, so. Or have been in town.
Other
previously.
discussion?
Pat, how much?
200.
And at the end of 2 years,
The,
If-
the family gets that banner. If they wanna put up a new banner, it's another $200 and they get another brand new banner, and it just starts all over again.
But they have to be on the waiting list if there's
If,
people
if
ahead.
if the people that are already up,
Yes,
if they wanna re-up again, then that stays.
okay.
If somebody drops off, the next person comes up on the list, so, on the first come, first serve.
And the other thing is that that's just for for now, but you're still researching for the polls, right?
Yeah, I've gotta call into the power company, but a lot of the poles sit so far off the road that I don't think they're gonna look right. I mean, there's certain places where they'd look right, but there's just other places where they're not gonna, they're not gonna look right, so. I really want them on 26, I think it's gonna look amazing going down 26, so. With our patriotic banners or our seasonal banners, however, these will be up year round, so.
But I'm just saying is there's a couple of polls down there.
There's a few places
that we
where
can
we could
utilize
probably
for-
do it, so, yeah, I want something in writing from the power company that we can hang something on their poles. And that's not always an easy thing to get.
The 32's on the new light poles.
32 is on the decorative black light poles that run along 26.
So that everybody's,
And they will be staggered from the seasonal banners that we have now. They will be staggered off of them, so.
And now this here, how you gonna choose who's the 32?
First come, first serve.
First one that pays you.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Show me the money.
I like that.
any other discussion?
I have none.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Mhm.
New business Berrycom, we've covered that one.
Actually, I took it off and I moved it to next month because Cash is coming next month.
Very.
Oh, that was a different Berrycom thing.
Okay, what's this one?
The one that was on there was Cash was gonna come and chat, but he can't come, so he's gonna come next month, so I'll put it back on there for him to come next month.
Cash is coming next month.
Yes.
From the AMVets or from Berrycon?
Berrycom.
That was. Show me the money, Jerry.
Dumpster at community center.
Craig has asked that we put the dumpster back at the community center again. We've been in contact with Waste Management, and the 5 or 6 totes that we have out there now, they're going to place, if we decide to do this and we okay it, they're gonna place a 6-yard dumpster at the community center on the pad that we already have that was there for a dumpster, and that way you don't have to drag the 5 or 6 trash totes out to the road and back.
The reason being on that there, first of all, we had it there, and they said a trash truck was tearing it up, okay? And,
You wanna have a motion
wait a minute.
or discussion?
I'll make a motion to do the dumpster, but
Then we can have a discussion.
I second it.
Got a second? Donnie makes a motion to put a dumpster at the community center, Pat second it, and now we can have a
Okay.
discussion.
well, I thought we was in discussion right
Not
there between
yet.
us.
Not yet.
Okay, I just give you, anyways, we had it down there once before and the truck was doing some damage to the pavement. Okay, and the thing on that, so I have no issue with it. Because we maintain keeping it sealed and things of that nature and things that. But also, after this, we'll make a motion to do this in the second for to get the dumpster. We need to, should have made a motion to do away with that motorcycle area too. There should be another motion for that to get, cause that's.
I make a
that's
motion to do away with the
Wait a minute,
motorcycle
wait a minute,
parking.
I'm just
Wait
doing,
a minute, let's do one motion at a time.
Okay.
I'm just doing a point of correct.
Can we just add
That we,
it to
need,
that motion?
since we voted to have that as a designated motorcycle area, that after this motion, we need to make a motion to.
We can
to do
discuss
it.
that.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Is the fees the same?
Yep.
Getting rid of the 5
Yep.
trash cans?
Yes, they said that they would do that versus the other for
Okay.
free, part of our contract.
Any other discussion? Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Now.
Don, go ahead with your motorcycle.
I'll make a motion that we now.
Second.
Let Don make his motion, please.
Okay.
I'll go on both to sign.
Okay. Anyways, make the motion to, do away with that designated motorcycle area for now. And maybe we can look at that future for it.
They always park where it's hash marked anyway on the driveway.
Pat's gonna remove the motorcycle sign if it passes. Is that a motion?
Yeah, Pat seconded it.
Second, is there any discussion?
What's
All
your-
those in favor, oh, go ahead,
What
Jake.
is your idea of putting?
Well, the thing about it is that I think what we need to do is we can do that where Pat's talking about where that is there is, but that, you gotta remember, that's not asphalt, that is concrete. If you ever rode a motorcycle and it's 91 degrees out, and you're going down there,
Can't park on
and
asphalt.
you put that motorcycle on that there, it's going to fall, or fall on someone or whatever. So that, we need to look at that, whether we wanna have one or not, let it be their discretion, because otherwise you're gonna have to pour another pad or something of that nature. I'm just giving you information that, myself, I just assume that we do away with that altogether and let them park at their own risk. But my motion is to do away with that there and completely.
And, was there a second?
Pat seconded.
And in the discussion, I'm gonna appoint you to look into an alternative place to park the motorcycle.
You do that all the time. Anybody bring something up, you put it on them.
When's the last time I put something on you?
Last month.
Name it, what was it?
We'll talk about it afterwards.
You-
Anyway,
you're
yeah, I
welcome.
don't have no problem with it. I don't.
Any other discussion?
I just wanna know if the board is interested in having that motorcycle.
A accomplished motorcycle rider
No.
has a pad.
That they bring with them.
That he carries, and he puts underneath his kickstand, so,
And he brings his own horseshoes, I bet.
and he does whatever he wants to.
Thanks, Greg.
I'm done.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Aye, it passes. New London siren. Who's in charge of it?
Who come
Debbie,
Oh,
Where'd that come from?
I have no idea.
she just wants to explain, can you go over to the,
Yeah. You have to state your name and address, please.
and your position?
Yeah, if you have a position.
Deborah Irvin, Asbury, Monroe Township trustee. And it's 2322 South, 750 West, Richardville.
Welcome.
I live in New London. Just so you know. Okay, you probably already know, most people do, that there, with House Bill 1461 that just passed, there is now the new road fund. And the capital improvement plan that is due this, for this year has to be filed and to the county commissioners, or county council, excuse me, county council by their first meeting in August. If they don't have the CIP program, or plan, you don't get any money the next year. This is all explained last week at the ITA school by the ITA attorney. So, on the capital improvement plan, the last one that was due was in 2019. That form you cannot use it this time. DLGF stated at the meeting that hopefully within the next few days, they will release the template for the new CIP plan. Now, the CIP, I'm kind of new to all this, but it's my understanding that you have the numbers of your budget, that's off. Then you have extra money. The capital improvement is coming out of the extra money. When you get down to the bottom of this form, the extra money, 30% of that will now be going to the road fund.
For the county.
For the county.
Mhm.
However, the attorney down there said that they thought that each individual trustee would be able to fight for whatever's in their individual fund for the road that goes through their township. But it's still,
Up in the air.
yes. But that's kind of the way they're doing it, because he said it would be my understanding that the county council comes and says, okay, you got 50,000 in your road fund, we want it, and then we got the right to go, which road in my township?
Are you gonna pay?
Yeah.
Or fix, or?
And are you doing it next week? Because I'm not gonna give you money
Mhm.
and you don't show up for 2 years.
Mhm.
So, the other thing that they told us was that the county council will now be responsible for our fire money. That the county council will get 0.4 of the state budget for fire, then each of the trustees will now have to campaign to the county council to get our portion of that money. The other thing that they said was going to county council was the lit money. That won't be coming into we'll still get it for 2026 because we're doing 26 budget now. But for 2027, the amount that we get every month will not be coming to us. That won't be in our thing. It will go to county council. Again, we will, it is 0.05 is what they will get. And each individual trustee will be having to campaign to get whatever they can get from the county council.
I have a question.
Hang on, let her finish.
I mean on that 0.5, what she's talking about right now.
Go ahead.
What was this 0.5, what was it before? This 0.05, what was it before?
They didn't get it before.
That's what I'm
Before we
asking.
get it directly from Howard County,
I
from
know, but what did the county when they gave you out of your portion, what was your percentage out of that?
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
the
The county
from the
wasn't-
county. from the
wasn't-
Right, for the ones that lived,
Because the county had that budget too, that slides it in, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
all I know is whatever each individual entity in Howard County is getting lit money now, they will not get it. It will all go to the county council.
That makes sense.
So if you've been getting $1,200 a month and that's worked into your budget, you will not be able to work that into your budget in 2027 because you will not be getting it. You will have to campaign for whatever you will be getting.
So Debbie got a hold of me, so if you're putting a plan together, Kirk's here too, guys. she came to me about maybe putting something together to get a siren or two put in New London. So mainly she came to me to see, you know, just for information on siren and stuff like that, to see, you know, how we put our system together or whatever. And you've also been in contact with somebody on sirens and everything.
Yes.
That's the whole, if she puts a budget together, her money can go to something in her township that's useful. If I'm putting all the numbers together here, right?
Yes.
You can put a budget together and say, this is what we're gonna do for the next 5 years in our township to help, instead of your money going to paving roads in the western part of the county that don't need to be paved anyway. So your money's gonna end up on the eastern side of the county where they really need paved. So that's how I see the whole thing working. They're gonna take your money and put it wherever they want to in the county.
Kinda like the water department does.
So,
Can I join her?
yep, yes you can.
Kirk Smith, trustee local, 4940 South, 920 West, Rushville. Is that good? Okay. They're wanting to do away with the trustee position eventually, and they're gonna take over, and we don't know how it's gonna operate out of the state capitol or what. So one way of looking at this is they're trying to piss us off so that we quit. And Debbie's already witnessed that firsthand down at the meeting. Her table load of trustees, I don't think you had anybody that said, I'm gonna come back on next election. They all said, I'm done. That's what they want. Most of us are gonna try to fight it out here. We see a need for what we do in the community. The money, is the way I see it, and I have a meeting Monday with the DLGF, Division of Local Government Finance.
Judy?
Judy. Everybody knows Judy.
We know Judy.
Great gal. I think she will be straightforward with me on what she knows, and she's a very smart lady. I have a lot of questions for her, besides this is a budget meeting, but I'm gonna fire away at her as best I can. She's busy for the rest of summer, and she's gonna be taken up through August, which is past our deadline for submitting something. One thing is, can we submit something out of, I don't know what's gonna cost, let's say it's gonna cost $50,000, pure guess. Can we submit that? Is that legal?
What,
I
on
don't
the-
know.
On the CIP?
Yes.
It's my understanding that as I have been in touch with Century Siren and ASC, and they are putting bids together for me right now with for a small siren, 360, and a medium. And so I should be getting that any day, and I can kind of give you some figures off of that.
Okay. Yeah, and what that includes.
But it's my understanding that if, say, we want to talk about 4 sirens or whatever, that as long as it goes on the CIP and that's our intention, then we just have to have a best guess scenario. We don't have to say it's gonna be $1,200.56 because we don't know by the time we get polls up and everything else.
The last time we went through this, I don't think Debbie was here, but it was an erroneous bid. Okay, we put some numbers together and gave them some kind of plan that we were gonna spend this money on, and we didn't. We just gave them a plan, and they were satisfied. So that money is still in our account. Honey Creek Township stands to lose a lot of money on this street repair. I don't think she has the savings that we do. We have built it up, prior trustees started this, and we keep a good stronghold. I don't know what happened to their
I'm
money.
gonna stop you a little bit,
Yes.
Kirk, and Debbie.
Yes.
We love New London. We all love New London. I don't see where we're going here about a siren.
Okay.
You're
I
telling us a lot
can't.
about how hang on, Pat.
Okay.
About how your structure works with the state on your funding and so forth. That has nothing to do with the town of Rushville. Do you have a question for us about The
Okay.
sirens?
So you understand our position. Here's the
I
second
think we
part
get
of
the
it.
point.
We are wanting to update we think it'd be a great capital improvement plan to update your current sirens, maybe stretch out, cover the whole township, and we need to take some that way as well. So our capital improvement plan depends on what you guys would like to see, what you want to do. I've talked to Pat about a couple projects, and this just seems to be the one to latch onto and go with.
Yep.
I have no idea the cost, but we want to drag this out for 5 years, and starting next year, we want to take another 5, and, you know, we want to keep it going until we get sirens up on every corner.
I asked
We
him-
want to spend that
Yep.
money on what you want done instead of
Yep.
it going to
Yep.
somewhere else in the county and having a.
Yeah.
road
I
paved.
asked both of them to come to the meeting, and really what it's gonna consist of, as Josh is in the bathroom, is us still setting the sirens off. You guys, you know, paying to upgrade and what we already have, upgrade, expand, build on it, and basically the Rushville Police Department would still be setting the sirens off that are on our system. So, and right now, I mean, we can't, it would have to be, as far as setting them off, we don't have any more of those, you know, that kind of stuff. So, and it's all new technology. I just wanted them to come and kind of explain
Yeah.
what they're thinking
I-
here, and, you know.
The logistics, I think, there's a lot that has to be worked out. The way we set off our sirens is very piecemeal put together. We had a guy that worked for AT&T put it together for us. We set them off with radios to make it very convenient for the officers. If they're out here spotting, they don't have to come back to anywhere and flip a switch. They can do it with the radio. They have to set off each one of our sirens individually.
Oh, wow.
So you start talking about 10 or 15 sirens. It's gonna take them a long time to go through and punch a code to set off 10 or 15 sirens. Indianapolis goes through, I forget how many hundreds of sirens they got, and they test them every Friday. And they have about a 10% failure every week on their sirens, for the radio system, the siren, you name it. There's a lot involved than just saying, yeah, let's do this and let's get 10 sirens and let's, you know, Josh can set them off whenever. Well, that's not always possible. And
May I?
yeah, go ahead.
All right. My thought for tonight was simply because what good would it do me to put one at the north end of New London, and you guys get one fixed right over here, and then we put one somewhere else, and then you fix one down here on the end, and the next thing, the neighbors in between get their ears blown off, okay? I wanted to know if it was possible to strategically place them so we reach the people going down 250 and everything else to get to the higher, because I'm kind of interested in going maybe north of New London because of Spring Hill.
A siren company can help you with that.
Yes.
There
but-
are logistics in figuring that out by
Yes.
the size of the siren, the decibels that it puts out,
And
the
range.
radius,
Yes.
and they overlap or they don't overlap, and where to put the sirens. Our sirens are old air raid sirens. They're all 3-phase motors, with the exception of one, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
But they're mostly 3-phase, so we have to make sure we have 3-phase power where we put them. We've piecemealed and put our plan together. We started in '97, I think it was. And I kind of spearheaded it back then. We got the old air raid siren from Harrison Township Fire Department. They weren't gonna use it anymore, and I said, we need to have a tornado siren. I don't know why this town never did have one, but, and here we are. The plan was, and I don't know where all that paperwork's at. I submitted it to the town, but,
Still here.
I retired and I don't have it anymore. There was gonna be another siren at the Sawmill. There was gonna be one out here at the west end of town by the substation.
That was the one where they took the 3-phase.
And now the one on the water tower failed us, and we took one of those and put it on a pole behind the utility garage, but it's still 3-phase. It took up there's a lot of logistics and the way you set them off and where they're at. what kind of pole.
What we're
I-
after, is this some kind of program that you're interested in?
I'm not sure.
I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that.
I'm not sure. This board can answer that. I just wanna get my 2 cents in there.
Did I understand you or misunderstand you that you have to submit this?
In August.
In August.
Yeah, so.
And they don't even have the guidelines done for us yet, but we gotta have it done.
Yeah, sounds like a government project, don't it?
What I'm gathering on this, 2 things. The county versus Rushville is, the difference is between that, they want you to be able to get yours right here by your cell phone. And you gotta understand, the siren itself is for outdoors. If you're outdoors or whatever, that is a big thing, that. But when this all was discussed, Roger and all of us, the board, we decided we're gonna do it, it doesn't matter, before these new came up. Me personally, yes, I think it's great, but I have a problem with one thing. You accumulate all this money, you accumulate all this money, why have you not spent it on your constituents out there? And what's the
Is that
ratio?
a
you
question to me?
Yeah, you guys. You accumulated all this money.
I don't have any money. The
Oh,
prior
you
guy
said-
spent it, it went to the fire
Okay.
department.
Okay, well, you accumulated all
But
all
I'm-
this money and.
We don't find a way to spend it. They come to us for help, is that what you're talking about? We have a contract with the fire department, if somebody comes to help, we have it. We plan on a certain amount of people, and what's the economy look like? Are we gonna be scared to death? Is Delco or Chrysler gonna lay everybody off or move? Or, you know, a lot of things to think about when we put a budget together, as you well know. Why do we have that money? It's because we haven't spent it.
Yeah, there again, I don't wanna be rude, but I'm gonna ask this board right now, in just a discussion phase, how many of you are ready to vote yes on a commitment to a project that you have to have all the answers by August?
Well, that's a month, I can't.
No,
Well,
we
that's what I
don't
was
want
gonna-
your commitment
That's what I was gonna
that
say.
way. We
what-
just wanna put it out there to you,
Oh,
because
see.
everybody has to do the CIP plan. And I don't even have the 50,000 to do one siren, if that's what it runs to. But it would be if I've got 10,000 left over, I can put that towards the plan. And instead of not having a plan, that's the single most thing that, for walking around and talking to the people in New London, it's like, we can't hear Rushville. And
Yeah, well, it's not designed to be heard in New London, right?
yeah, and so that's
School.
what's came up, okay? And the other thing is, if there is any townships in Howard County or in the state, within their county, that is thinking of merging, we can do it now to December. They said, the township, or the ITA attorney said they will not do merges in 2026 because it's an election year. In 2027, the state's is supposed to step in, and they're gonna say, okay, the west side, Honey Creek, Monroe, Irvin, you're now one.
Yep.
And so if we don't all talk, start talking amongst ourselves and trying to come up with a plan and everything, but if they take and they put it all that we're one, suddenly all the money goes in, okay? What I've got, what Kirk's got, what Andrew's got, it would all go in the pot, and then we work through that.
Yep.
So it's not, the CIP plan is a 5-year plan. There's nothing that would ever be discussed or settled tonight or anything. It's just to let you know that we think this is a heck of an idea. And in talking to Pat, we found out that you guys have got some sirens down and everything too. It might be a deal with ASC or Century that if the neighborhood, we buy so much, we don't have to throw our money in the pot, but if we if you commit, not tonight, but if you just think about it, that you are in the area of possibly purchasing a couple. I can get, online for a couple. If Kirk can do something out here, then we get a better deal. Everybody.
We'd like to spend that money locally.
Yeah.
Ron?
The thing I have a question for you is that you made mention that once this is, what's the date, 26th, is where your money's gonna go in the pot and you have to go back and ask for your money back?
Yes.
Okay. Now that's kind of redundant and silly, but for you to give you the money, then you take it out of your account, then you gotta go ask for this here, that'd be like, so the county's your checkbook,
No.
what you're saying.
Okay, for, right now, we're all working towards, the budget of 2026.
Okay,
Okay, what we decide in 2026, what we're used to, we will get.
okay.
In 26, when we start for the 27 budget, we will no longer get lit.
That's when you gotta go to the county.
Yes.
That's what I asked. So
Yes.
it's 27, your county's gonna be your checkbook, you gotta go there and say, this is how much money. Will you have to go and ask for help for individuals at this point? To get the money for those individuals too?
No, as far as last week, anyway, they said that, the money for poor relief would still come directly to us, but based on the people that live in your area, off the real estate taxes and everything. But as far as the fire money and, the lit money, no. And then we also get money into our general fund.
so-
Okay, that money, to my, understanding, is not going to be hurt either. It's just when you get that check in June from Howard County and it's for real estate taxes, this, and whatever, it's the monthly money we won't be getting.
How much are you looking at out of your budget to do these sirens? That's why I'm saying, is you're putting a plan together, you have a number in your head.
They wanted to let us know what the program was and what they were looking at.
You have,
We
you
have
have.
no idea.
Okay,
I haven't
So-
got
We
it.
don't even know if you're interested.
I am, I'm interested in it, but I don't know about the rest.
Greg?
I make a motion that we table this.
Until after August?
Well, until we gather more information, till we understand it more.
A second, do I hear a second?
Before you do that, all your
We can
sirens
still
are
have
working
discussion
really
after a
well?
second.
Oh, okay.
Didn't we have a motion prior to that? You think,
No,
on
Greg's
stuff?
the first motion.
That's it?
I'll-
Second,
I'll second his motion, so we can discuss.
Greg
real
made a
quick.
motion to table it until there's more information, I think is your motion.
Yeah.
Don seconded it,
So we can discuss.
now we can discuss.
Can I ask a question? Is it okay if I?
Josh,
So do you have to have a plan made, but it doesn't, can you make a plan? And then if it doesn't happen, what is the penalty on you?
Josh says if they make a plan that doesn't happen, is there a penalty? Is that right, Josh?
Yes.
Yeah, she mentioned that.
The attorney said that there was, since it was a 5-year plan that they're asking us to do, and if we put forth the good effort to get the bids so that we kind of know what's going and everything, then they would look at whether we just said we're trying to do or whether we really put forth to do.
So I
Yes.
guess the reason I'm asking that is because I feel like you guys, we could all get together and find some spots for as many sirens as you want. For as many sirens as you want, and there could be a plan in place, and if it doesn't have to be done this year, next year, or even the year after, if it doesn't happen, it don't happen. But there would be an effort to make it happen, or figure something out. I guess that's all I had.
Right,
Makes
and
sense.
I like that, and I like that for the 5-year plan, because if, say we got an extra, we only have 15,000, okay?
Debbie, could
That
you stay in front of the microphone?
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you.
That, I was leaving. But that 15,000 then goes into that 5-year plan, and they can't make me give 30% of it to the road
So
fund.
you're building a pot, is what you're
Yes,
doing.
I don't
Over a
have,
5-year period.
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
Because it may take 5 before I've got it
Right.
to do,
Yep.
unless they take and throw us all together, and then
Right.
it will come
Jake,
around fast. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, keep it. You're fine. My only question, I guess, for the both of you is just one project, or can you add multiple projects into your plan? For instance, this is a 5-year plan. Say that this plan only takes 1 year. We have 4 more years left. Is there any other options or anything else that you guys are putting into your guys' CIPs?
As far as for me, that's the only thing that's gonna be on mine, because there's not sidewalks there. I have not been able to come up with anything else for a CIP plan for myself. Now, Kirk's here in town and everything, so I'm sure there's more that he can do, and there is no limit to the plan, to the items. Like I said, if you wanna walk, they said as long as it's money spent on the constituents, it's coming out of our real estate taxes, and it should go back to the people.
I guess maybe my thought, and I could be wrong, is you shoot for the stars and you land on the moon. If it's just one item, if we have multiple improvements here in Honey Creek and or in New London, is there any idea or any way that we can put multiple things into the CIPs? That way, okay, we don't land on, say, the sirens, but we land on sidewalks, or we land on something else, instead of just putting all our eggs into one basket.
Yes, you can put whatever you wanna improve on.
The reason I second this, so we have this discussion
Sure.
real quick on this, is that first I want a clarification. You gotta put all this together in a month. And you want us to say, hey, we'll go along with you for this, so, is that correct?
No.
You want a
No,
blessing to go with?
I want you to know what Monroe Township is thinking.
Okay.
So, later this fall, or even, I am supposed to get the, if not this week, next week, the bids from the ASC and from Century. I would like to be able to, show those to Pat. Pat can show them to you all, just throwing it out there.
I got you. The reason I asked that was because I just don't understand how you could go being a trustee and they put you in that position for a month. You have 1 month. This was not decided 6 months ago, but when did you get the information to put you in this time frame?
Well, House Bill 1461 was passed
July
May of this year.
We don't even think the county knows yet that they're going to be our boss.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Why don't you run for commissioner, you can do both.
Show me what it is. No.
So
I
really,
feel sorry for you, I really do.
This, we'd like to hear from you that, we'd like to improve those sirens. We don't know what it's gonna take. It may take 5 years to replace one, I don't know. The money situation and stuff like that. Also, the township trustee funds is a little bit different than working with you to replace sidewalks and parks.
Yeah.
Definitely no parks unless we own them.
You wanna buy a building?
so I'm hearing you just want us to know what you're doing.
Yes.
But number 2, I'm hearing you wanna know if we're interested.
To help.
I think that's, 1A and 1B.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well, I think the statute for like emergency management is either local police, fire, or EMA has to set the sirens off.
Yes.
Which means,
I
I
hope
think,
so.
which means that, like, if you put sirens up, it'll be us, the sheriff's office, or EMA that would have to test them, is what, I think is that why you're?
What? Yes.
Fire
And
department.
that was the main reason of coming down
That-
here,
yeah,
was
that
that
was
we
the main
get
reason I
one,
wanted him to come.
we have to get you.
Yep.
to do it because EMA won't. They told me I had to come to Roosevelt.
I have a meeting Thursday, so.
Are we going to,
You're not gonna quit, are you?
No.
are we going to commit to being available 24/7 to set off the sirens, or what?
I mean, we're committed to setting off our sirens 24/7.
Everybody's? If it went that
depends
far?
on the system, like you were talking about earlier,
I mean, there's a lot of logistics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion with the board members
The motion's to table it,
to
right?
table it? I don't see how we can make any decision by August.
I'll get as much
I mean-
information as I
What-
can
what's your-
and
what's
feed
your
it to you.
Personally, I'm the same as Pat, that the motion is to table it.
Yes.
But table it just means you're tabling it. You're not making a decision, yes or no, you wanna do it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what's your decision tonight?
That's,
On whether you
To
want us
table
to
it.
do
The
or-
motion's to table it.
It's
Wait.
basically for you to get more information back to us so we can make a proper decision.
I
That's
think,
my opinion.
any board member correct me, I think we're interested in hearing what you find
Yeah,
out.
That's what I wanna hear.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that from you
we
yet.
can't make a vote and say, yeah, we wanna
Yeah, I said
participate,
that
we wanna
earlier.
do it.
We have no idea what the cost
Yeah.
is gonna be, and
Yeah. So the motion to table is good. I mean, you're not even gonna have a bid by our next meeting in August, I guarantee you.
When's your next meeting?
Second,
August 12th.
second Tuesday.
The second Tuesday?
Yeah.
Well, I may have it next week.
we have
Well,
no
It's
but you're
idea.
gotta
not
go to
gonna
the-
have a
it's gotta go
plan
to
put,
the-
let me rephrase that. You're not gonna have a total plan put together.
No, no.
Yeah.
Because you have to, but first,
Yeah, great.
I want one thing. I want to thank you guys for being trustees, because that's a rough and tough job. I wouldn't want it for the world. They approached me to be a trustee years ago, but I want no part of that. You guys have a rough job, and I want to commend both of you and thank you for taking that office.
The people that we serve are the best. I mean, there's no problem with that. It's the freaking state that we have a problem with, and they're making it harder.
I can't
We,
say that.
we don't make that statement here. Greg, you got another question? We never
No,
put
just
down
a
the state, do
statement,
we?
just a statement, you
I
know, I
can't
made the
think-
motion, you'll table it, and now if they wanna put together a plan and turn it in, that's, you know, we kind of,
I think it's more of a partnership. You guys did,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, it's just so we can all see what's going on and being able to serve the people. It's not so much really, you know, a yay or a nay, it's just kind of a partnership. Us saying, yeah, you guys put your plan together and we'll all work together. That's what really what we're looking for, right?
Yes.
And then, you know, being able to set them off, if you put a new siren system up, I guarantee you it's probably a one button push now. You know, key in and one button and you're setting everything off. It's you're not keying individual radios unless you wanted to.
No,
So,
their system would set them off.
I have a
A
comment.
commercial system
Yep.
would set them off
I
at
got,
once.
Yep.
I have a comment, generally I have a sarcastic comment, and this is it. The people in New London must be deaf, because I can go 5 miles that way and hear them on Sunday afternoon go off.
I
know, I
If
just
it's
said
a,
that.
if it's a storming, you cannot hear
I just,
it.
I just,
I can hear,
you can hear them
mean
out there.
Forest, but I can't hear Roosevelt, and I'm halfway to
Um,
Roosevelt, closer to Forest.
I grew up
Depends on the way the wind
I grew
blows.
up 5 miles from here,
Depends on the
and
wind.
on Sunday afternoon you hear them go off, so.
All right, I got a
That's it.
motion, I got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
That's opposed. Motion passes to table.
Thank you.
That table includes everybody's vision of, when you hear something, let us know. Yeah.
Just get with me.
I will.
Drainage on Carter
Thanks.
property.
See ya.
Drainage. Okay.
Our new sidewalk on the Carter, goes across the Carter field headed towards the doctor's office, has created a dam that dams drainage. The water used to drain into the side ditch there. The sidewalk now won't let it drain. I don't know how engineering missed that or what, but the point of the matter is, he's already lost crops this year because of it. He never lost crops there before. And the town put the sidewalk in there, and we need to, in my opinion, we need to come up with some sort of a fix.
Is that an engineer issue per contract, that if they missed it,
I can't answer that.
Corbin, you have the sidewalk drainage issue on 500 block of North Union Street, with us signing a contractual agreement with engineering and they have missed that. If that's listed, is that something that they would have to come back and replace on their dime, not on us?
You have to look, do they post a bond?
Right.
I mean, it matters what we got, so yeah, I'd be glad to look at it, but gotta see what it says.
Well, the thing about it is they do that area deal that they make sure. One of the first things I asked, Pat, remember that? How will this affect that field? Will it stop being drainage when that project went? I sure no, it wasn't. But we'll check into it. The only thing I can say is that for now, we just have to go look and address the issue as we best get. Main thing, if he's lost crops at our expense, I think we should reimburse him something on that.
He actually expressed to me he would just like to see the town fix it.
Okay.
He didn't even mention reimbursement.
Well,
he might now.
I mean,
not
There's
sure.
crop insurance for a reason, so we can, I mean.
yeah, that, but
Does anybody want to make a motion that we look into fixing this problem?
I'll make a motion as far as Corbin looking at the contractual agreement between DLZ and the engineering firm.
Anybody want to second it?
Second.
I got a motion from Jake to have the contract with engineering on the sidewalk looked into, seconded by Greg. Discussion?
That's just to look into the contract, that's not to fix the look into it.
The only fix I see is to run a tile along the side of that and tie it in.
We have a
So
tile.
if Mr. Carter knows where his tile's at, we can have somebody come in and ditch a tile along there, which, that's been a wet spot for a while, so. It's just been a little bit further towards the road, so all we did was push the wet spot out. That's the only fix that I see, is that there's a lateral run along the side of the sidewalk to pick up if he has an out. I don't know that there's an out in that field for the water, so.
I've been
if
told,
if he does,
and I don't know this for any
that's
fact,
gonna be the cheapest fix.
there's a drain in that side ditch someplace. Mike Very used to hook a hose to the fire hydrant that's there, stick the hose in the drain when he flushed the water hydrants. Apparently it's gotten plugged up, broke off, knocked off or something.
They got covered.
Mike Very hasn't worked for the town for I don't know how many years. Craig says he does not remember anything. I don't know how long Craig's been here and back, but we're talking probably 20 years when Mike put that hose in that. But there supposedly is one down there.
There is.
How to find it, I don't know.
I remember that.
So, does anybody think we could amend the motion that besides having it looked into, the engineer, the
Let's just
town's
go-
responsible, we need to look into a fix?
Let's just go with this motion he's got right there and move on. I'll make a motion real quick and we'll move on.
Okay, motion made and seconded to have Corbin check the contract on the sidewalk. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Now, I'll make a motion that we look into this here and try to come up with a solution. The cost effective.
Contingent on whether we find anything with engineering.
We'll bring it back next month.
Who made that motion?
I made a motion.
Don did. Is there a second?
Second.
Pat, second the motion. All in favor say aye. Or is there more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We're down to, believe it or not, you wanted to make a comment?
No, you
Yeah,
didn't hear him right.
Yeah, I just need to make a comment about engineering firms. If you're an engineer,
Oh.
I'm tired of paying for money and,
Note taken.
go ahead.
Believe it or not, the
I
last
digress.
item on new business, I think, is this Greg, is this your sign on 750 West?
Out here, Nathan Banush owns this property. It's the property just south of the
My
big house.
He's talking about my house.
The guy that has the farm equipment.
Farm equipment, he parks it down in there. There's that sign that says, you know, state champion, blah, blah. I don't know what all it says on it. He wanted to know if that sign could be moved across the road somewhere else.
There's nobody here that's involved with TIF at all, is there? I think maybe they're looking into those signs.
They
Are
are.
they doing those too? I don't know.
I know they're looking in,
Uh,
they're looking into new,
Because he pulled his farm equipment in right there.
yeah. Well, we got our new signs on 26, welcome to Richardville.
Yeah.
I think TIF's looking at signs now for 750 north and south of
Yeah.
town, welcome to Richardville, of some sort. And I think I also heard them talking about what you're talking about. Somebody
Yes.
won a championship and this and that or
Yeah.
whatever, national,
This is
State-
not life
state
or death.
champion.
This is not life or death, but he said
Yeah.
if it could be moved, he would appreciate it.
Two things. He put a driveway in there, knowing that sign was there, so I just wanna make that,
and the driveway is in the county or city?
it's in the county.
County. All right,
And that sign is in, right
I
there.
think the driveway got put in before the sign, didn't it?
No, that sign, that sign in Rooseville's been there for years. The other one is, I don't know, but right there, the house, just south of me, right there in the middle of their driveway, Roger,
yeah,
okay? Right there, it splits. That's county.
you're right. I
And,
know.
and then where that
The
field he's
barn,
talking
the
about.
barn is in the county and the
and-
house is in the
yeah,
city.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then what it is that, I have an issue with that sign myself, but when they put that up there, it's hard to see. I understand the situation. Putting it on the other side, is that gonna cause some problems for the other
Who
neighbors?
put the sign
I don't know.
I don't know.
up? Town?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it in the town or the county?
It's in the
a-
county.
It's got,
It's in the county.
something, you know, state champions, it's got something else on there
It-
also.
It's, like I said, it's in the county, it's not in the town.
And,
It's a gray area.
yeah. He don't have a gun to his head, about ready to blow his brains out, but
I
he said
think
if
we-
it could be moved, he would appreciate it.
I don't even think we need a motion. I think the town can just agree to look into the situation and see how it can be resolved.
Make
Yeah.
a great point over that.
Are you happy with that?
I'm ecstatic.
And if you wanna tell him that
That we're,
the
we're.
board's
we're-
gonna look
we're
into
looking
it.
into it.
Yes. Comments from guests. Don't all jump up at once. Comments from the council members.
I'm not a council member, but
Yes.
I have a comment on signage.
Signage.
Yes, since we're talking about that signage, there's two signs, one on south and north end, that have the churches. They were redone a few years ago, but they are sad looking.
Sad.
I talked to
Can we do
Ned about
something
the
with
same
them?
issue.
And who put those up? The churches?
I don't know who
I doubt if the
originally
town
did.
put 'em up.
That's in the county.
It is in the county.
I'm pretty sure the town didn't put those up.
No.
I think the churches are gonna have to come together and decide that.
I talked to Ned about this a long time ago, and then
Yeah.
we did this, the same
Yeah.
issue. I don't like the way they look myself, but, I don't know, we use town funds and list of churches or what, you know what I'm saying?
Well, on the
Then-
second part, if the
yeah.
church paid to put them up there, I don't think we should just go tear them down.
No, that's what I was getting
I
at.
think we should maybe approach the churches.
Okay, the person that put them up there last was Junior O'Neill and his daughter. They redid
Then
them.
I suggest you get with Junior and
But they,
find the consensus is that the signs need to be repaired,
Redone or-
redone or something, and see if he
or
if he wants to approach the churches. And
My point being
the
is.
town
that-
doesn't feel like it's our responsibility.
My
Okay.
point being on this is that churches do it, I'd like to help them, but then where do we stop with other private organizations, or
Exactly.
where do we go from there?
I have one other question about Berrycom. The girls had the tent set up out here and were passing out information. And they knew who I was and they asked. They have a website where people sign up if they're interested here in town. Yes, I'd like you to contact me. I'm interested in maybe signing up for Berrycom if it becomes available to me. They want to know if we could put that on our sign or our website. I don't know the answer to that. Is there some reason we can't do that, Corbin? or it's a they're a private business.
Well, is it something that's gonna help the community?
Every resident, if they want Berrycom,
Seems to me that if we're gonna help the community, then let's do it.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
come up with something
looking
and-
for a
and
job,
on the
we'll hire you.
sign.
Yeah,
and-
I'm
and maybe
actually
the
very
website.
calm, they hired me last week.
And I don't know what that is, but I know
I
you
know,
can find
I
it,
heard that.
where you're supposed to go with them and put your name in.
That's why
Yeah.
I said that.
So,
I have a phone number,
we
so
need
show
all
there's
the
a
help we
website.
can get with coverage and all that.
I will entertain a motion to,
If anybody'd
Sure.
like to see
Oh,
me
Pat.
after
Oh,
the
yeah.
meeting, support your
Turn off.
local veterans, I have 2 different raffles that we're doing, so
$20.
see me after the meeting and I'll explain the details.
I don't
Adjourn.
need.
I make a
guns.
motion to
I'm down
adjourn.
with the Visa card.
all in favor, say aye.
Before we get in trouble,
Aye.
get passing tickets.
Thank you.
He said he would be around after the meeting.